James are the box office artist, and welcome to part 2! That's right, part 2 of me drawing the Wasp from Ant-Man and the Wasp, and it's been a lot of fun so far, but I know this is a lot of your favorite parts is me actually finishing and lighting and rendering this specific character, so that's what we're going to get into right now. It's going to be so much fun, so let's get into it right now. Okay, so because we did quite a tighter layout with the in the construction phase, the inking part, there's not too much guesswork going on here. Okay, there are little details like in this mask here that I'm adding that I didn't add in the detail phase, but the main parts like the visor itself, the actual shape of the helmet, that's already figured out, so I don't have to think too much about that. I just need to think of all the itty bitty tiny details here. So I usually always start with the head whenever I'm finishing a particular character, and this is no different as you see me here roughing in all the details. Again, have your reference handy, have it to the side, put it on an iPad or put it on a monitor nearby so you could enlarge and look at different parts of the costume. Don't be afraid to get multiple pictures, and in fact I encourage that. Get multiple pictures, because sometimes with one picture you don't get all the detail that you need, or even your perception of how the length of things or how round things are. They get lost with just one picture, so you want multiple pictures just so you can fully understand how a particular outfit or costume detail works. Okay, so here I am just going on top of the surface. So really with all these little plates, they should feel like they are on top of another surface. They should feel that way. So that's what I'm trying to mimic here. Okay, that's why these plates, they are a little bit offset from the other parts of the costume, because I want it to feel like plates that are sitting on top of another material. Okay, so that's important. Just those little minor details, like sometimes you don't even think about them, but they add so much to particular drawings. So that's why I like to include them in my drawing here. So usually, as you guys know, I'll go over everything with one size pen, just get all the major detail in, and then refine it with thicker lines and whatnot. I believe I'm just using a 1, if I'm not mistaken here. This is a 1 micron. And just roughing in all of the little details here. I do this before adding the shadow. Okay, so now some people are different. Some people like to add the shadow first before adding in the little lines, because there might become a time where the shadow will cover a lot of these little lines. But sometimes what I like to do is make sure that these lines stand out even in the shadow, right? So I will leave these lines white in shadow. So that's why I like putting all the lines first. Okay, so again, it's totally up to you how you like to work. That's totally up to you. But you see how on our arm, you see how I offset them a little bit so they feel like they're sitting on top of the arm, as opposed to being a part of the arm. That's the difference. We want this to feel like an outfit, not that it was spray painted onto her body, right? It should feel like she's wearing clothes. Okay. So, but that's the look I'm particularly going for here. Okay, here drawing her little gauntlets here, adding in all those little gauntlet details there, all the way around. And again, just with a single line, not thinking about line weight or anything like that. I'm just trying to get all of the details in, drawing the hands. And I know a lot of you are asking for a hand tutorial. Those will come sooner than later, I promise. All right. Okay, so just finishing off all the hands here, these open hands here. And now let's continue on with the ab plates here. Trying to get all of those little details going. Okay. Sometimes you will see little breaks here and there. Most likely what I'm doing here is taking a look at the reference and just making sure that what I'm drawing is accurate, especially a part like this part of her outfit is pretty complicated. The way the lines work together, it can get extremely complicated, so that's why I'm taking my time. Here, trying to be as correct as possible, but also using these lines to my advantage. All of these little lines here, again, should feel like they're sitting on top of the body, so that really helps emphasize form all over her body, the way these lines sit on top of her body. So, it defines the shape, defines the way the legs, arms, and her body's curving, so use that to your advantage. Here I'm drawing in the feet and the knee pads. here. They're metal, by the way. That can't be comfortable, right? Metal knee pads? Those just can't be comfortable. Unless you got like a real cushion inside those metal pads there. So here, adding even more little details to the lines. Okay, I think I do the wings actually last. So I actually go and get my Sharpie first. And first of all, starting an outline around the entire body, and you've seen me do this many times. Again, the way to separate it from the background, separate different parts of the body from other parts of the body. But the part where there doesn't need separation, I won't put a thick line. So you won't see me put a thick line inside the body there. Like I will put it under the arm there just to separate it from the torso. But again, these thick lines here, they're just for separation. That's why I use it underneath the helmet as well as around the helmet. Okay, but you won't see me use it anywhere in the middle of the body. Okay, but now is time to get into the actual rendering of it. So with my black marker here, I'm starting to add in a little bit more dark detail. Okay, outlining the plates and thinking about the shadow. Now, once again, the shadows probably come from the top left, and most of my Inktober drawings coming from the top left, but also thinking about light, a rim light on the side. That's why you see a bit of light there under the side of her body. Also thinking about the material, okay, and the color of her outfit. So as you see there, I'm adding a lot of black to those sides because in her actual outfit, those are the darker areas. Okay, so I will add darks in certain areas, but I will leave more white the areas with the lighter color. And all of those plates on her body, they are a lighter color. So that's my intention with that. But so just going around the figure, just thinking, okay, if light were to hit her outfit, what would be in shadow? Always thinking that way. What would it gradate around? Okay, but I do like putting the solid black first. You know, just getting those bigger surfaces out of the way before doing the refinement. So that's why I go pretty rough when it comes to these darker lines, okay? Because I know I'm going to go back and refine them at hatching and all of that, which I will do in a minute. Just going around the leg there, seeing how much light would actually peek through. In fact, that leg that's bent would probably cast a shadow. That's why there's such a darker color there. Okay, and then having more of a highlight on the top of the thigh there. Okay. And as you see there, you see that white line I put there in between the shadow, that little detail there. And I would imagine that would be a little bit highlighted there. So that's what I was talking about putting the line first before the shadow, because sometimes I really do want to emphasize that line. Now, you could do the exact same thing if you wanted to use a white pen, like you do the shadow and then draw with white pen on top. That's totally cool too. You could definitely do that. I do find though with white pens sometimes they get gray, so it depends on the type of pen that you get. I'm still experimenting, trying to find the right white ink to use. My friend Jonathan told me about how Copic has a really cool white ink product, so I have yet to try that. So hopefully I could try that one of these days. But as you see me here, just going back and forth, adding you know, darker parts to the body. And closing up, you could really see what's going on here. Now I'm into the cross-hatching. Once again, I've mentioned this many times. Cross-hatching, what that is the gradation of light around a surface. So that's what I'm adding there. But also here, what I'm adding here is reflection. Okay, these squiggly lines here, what I'm trying to mimic is reflection. And not having cross-hatching in these areas, but these squiggly lines, that helps really sell the metallic look of these plates. I would imagine that these plates are more metallic. That's why I'm adding these lines. They're just representing a reflection. So you see how they kind of join together, right? All the way down her abdominal region, those lines, they feel natural. So it's like something is reflecting inside those different plates. Okay, so that's what I'm trying to mimic. So I'm just not adding lines because of lines. I'm thinking about that. I'm thinking there's something in the environment that I could kind of see in these plates. So I'm trying to mimic that with those lines. And by adding cross-hatching in certain areas and some not in different areas, it really shows you that the material that she's wearing, it's different. Okay, so the material on her knees is completely different than the material on her thighs. Okay, so the material on her knees is a little bit more metallic than the material on her thighs. There. So always think about that whenever you're rendering your particular character here. So just going back and forth, adding little dots there. Again, it's just a way to make the outfit a little bit less perfect, because as we know, life is not perfect. And also take my French curve here, and you could get this I could get this at Staples or Office Max or wherever. They're probably more expensive there. My art store carries them for $3. That's why whenever I'm there, I actually stock up if I can. But using that just helps with those particular lines. But there you go. That is it. That is the WASP. A lot of fun to do, and I hope you guys learned. And there you go, that was me drawing the Wasp from Ant-Man and the Wasp. A lot of fun to do. If you have any questions about it, please do let me know in the comments down below. And again, guys, I will be filming some newer tutorials coming. It won't be just all superheroes. I'll probably try to mix it up with more specific tutorials in the future. So thank you all. A lot of you have been giving me some great suggestions so far. So thank you all for your suggestions, and also give me other ideas of what other videos you'd like me to do, because I do this daily for you guys. I want to put content out every single day because I just love doing it, and I love having you guys watch my videos. But if you're new to my channel, you looked around, you like what you see, if you wouldn't mind hitting that subscribe button, well, I will be your friend for life. Please join my 53,000 other best friends, and we will draw every single day together. If you have some time, check out my online store. I usually put up some new material there on Monday, so go check that out on the Monday. You might even want to sign up to that email subscription right there, because I do a weekly email. So if you want to be part of that mailing list, go check out my online store there as well, so you could join the mailing list so you can be updated with what I'm up to. But tell you guys what, if you could hit that like button, share this video with all your friends, and my name is James. I am the Box Office Artist. I'm here to say keep drawing, and I'll see you all tomorrow.